Most people believe obsession is created through constant attention. But Machiavelli understood something far more unsettling. Obsession doesn't grow when someone receives everything they want. It grows when they can't quite figure you out. The human mind chases what it cannot predict. It seeks to understand what refuses to be simple. It returns again and again to the person it cannot solve. And this is the core of Machiavelli's darkest method. He believed that the most powerful force in human psychology is not charm, not confidence, not even love. It's uncertainty. When someone can't fully read you, they start thinking about you. They replay your words. They analyze your silence. They study your patterns. They wonder what you meant, what you feel, what you want. And slowly, you begin to occupy space in their mind far beyond what you ever asked for. This is how obsession begins. Quiet, soft, inside their thoughts, long before it becomes visible in their actions. Machiavelli understood something essential. Humans don't pursue the predictable. They pursue the unresolved. The heart chases what the mind can't categorize. And when the mind can't place you, you become a psychological puzzle, a living contradiction. Warm, but not dependent. Present, but not overbearing. Interested, but not invested. Close, but somehow untouchable. This is his forbidden method. You create emotional gravity by denying emotional certainty. Not through cruelty, not through manipulation, but through self-possession. You don't give people the easy comfort of knowing your next move. You don't offer your full vulnerability in the first moment someone asks. You don't collapse your entire identity into their hands. Instead, you reveal yourself in fragments, pieces, layers, hints, echoes. You allow them to feel you, but never hold all of you. And something fascinating happens. When your energy is not fully available, people begin to crave it. They feel your warmth, but they want more. They hear your voice, but they want depth. They see your strength, but they want the source. A person cannot desire what feels already owned. They desire what feels rare, selective, mysterious. This is why Machiavelli valued controlled unpredictability. Not chaos, not inconsistency, but deliberate rhythm. You show kindness, but you don't show need. You show interest, but you don't show desperation. You show moments of softness, but not surrender. And in this balance, you create tension, magnetic tension, a pull stronger than anything money or beauty can buy. Because people fall in love with what pulls them in, not with what chases them. Confidence attracts, mystery captivates, uncertainty enslaves. And the mind becomes enslaved not by force, but by curiosity. This is why Machiavelli said, "To be desired becomes slightly out of reach." Not distant, not cold, just out of reach. Like a horizon that looks close, yet always remains a few steps ahead. A sunset you can see but never fully grasp. A flame that warms but never burns you. When you embody this, people start thinking about you when you're gone. They look for meaning in your smallest actions. They try to understand your depth. They want more time, more attention, more presence. Because you're not predictable. You're not like everyone else. You're not loud. You're intentional. You're not desperate. You're disciplined. You don't run toward anyone. You walk your own path and let them wonder whether they're allowed to join it. And that uncertainty is intoxicating. This is where the forbidden method deepens. Machiavelli believed that a person becomes unforgettable when they stop being controlled by the need for approval. The man who doesn't need validation becomes the man others seek validation from. The man who isn't afraid to walk alone becomes the man others want to walk beside. The man who chooses his words carefully becomes the man whose silence carries weight. And when someone feels that weight, they start chasing it. They start craving it. They start wondering why your presence affects them in ways others never could. This is psychological gravity, the force that pulls people toward you without you moving an inch. But here is the darkest truth in Machiavelli's philosophy. People don't obsess over what they understand. They obsess over what confuses them. They obsess over what feels rare, what feels powerful, what feels emotionally disciplined. They obsess over someone who doesn't expose his entire heart just because someone else asks. When you stop giving emotional certainty, you become emotionally valuable. When you stop seeking approval, you become mysterious. When you stop explaining yourself, people start trying to understand you. Your silence becomes a question. Your absence becomes a presence. Your mystery becomes a magnet. And slowly, they start hunting for the meaning behind your behavior. Why did he pause before speaking? Why does his attention feel so deliberate? Why do his emotions feel honest but protected? What is he thinking when he goes quiet? Why do I care what he thinks of me? Why do I feel drawn to him when he pulls away? This is how the hunt begins. This is how the mind becomes restless, curious, captivated. Not because you manipulated anyone, but because you mastered yourself. You are not a storm of chaos. You are a storm of control. A quiet, powerful force. The kind that makes people lean in without you lifting a finger. And here is the deepest part of the method. Your value rises every time you choose self-respect over attention. Every time you prioritize your path over someone else's opinion. Every time you hold your emotions with discipline instead of throwing them at someone hoping they'll stay. This is the forbidden mastery. You become a man who gives access slowly, intentionally, selectively. And people chase what they must earn. When you do this, you stop being a character in their story. You become the story, the internal dialogue, the unanswered question, the lingering feeling, a presence they feel even in your absence, a mystery they want to solve even when you reveal nothing new, a fire they cannot resist because it doesn't burn them, it transforms them. This is Machiavelli's darkest and most forgiven method. Become rare. Become unpredictable. Become emotionally sovereign. Become the puzzle the mind keeps returning to. And they will chase you. They will hunt your energy. They will crave your presence. Not because you demanded attention, but because you became impossible to forget.